Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and today is the final day of my NaNoWriMo planning videos, and today we are going to talk about outlines. Outlines. Lines that are out. Planning. Plotting. After ideas and characters and settings, it's time to finally start the outline. The outline. The part where you actually plot what is going to happen in the novel, in the book, in the story, which is very exciting. So before we head over to my Scrivener project, let's discuss that. Now, as I've said before, I didn't used to really plan or plot my NaNoWriMo novels, but I've learned over the years that I need to plan and plot my NaNoWriMo novels, and all my novels in general, actually. I've always been interested in the idea of outlining, and I used to read a lot about how to outline, but ultimately outline isn't that complicated. Like, I've downloaded Scrivener project settings to do outlining, looked at different outlining types, and there's plenty of different outlining types. Ultimately, I don't like any of them. In the end, what works for me, or what I enjoy doing, is just writing what's going to happen in the story. I don't immediately jump into that though, because I feel like once it's in the outline, it's a little more concrete than it is in idea form or whatever. That's why I did an idea dump, why I do idea dump, and then after that I like to create a rough outline, which is just a bullet list of everything that needs to happen and is going to happen and things that I want to happen. And then I move on to the outline, where I go by like chapter by chapter by chapter, or in this case, I'm splitting it up into weeks and then the days. But like in Shadow Sword, which is one of my current manuscripts, I have it by chapter by chapter by chapter, and I can edit those chapter descriptions if I need to. I know some people like to outline like on index cards or have like a board for their outline or physical outlines. I cannot do that. I cannot do that. I cannot write down an outline. Like, I can't. It's too concrete for me. Physical writing for me with my hand, it's the same reason I can't use like journals or something. I love notebooks and journals, but if I try to write in them, I will ruin them. And I'm so scared of ruining them because you can't undo that. You can't erase a pen. Well, you can some pens. Some pens have erasers, I'm pretty sure. But that works for some people, so be sure to give that a try if you think it might work for you, but I cannot. I have to write my outline on the computer where it's more flexible, it can be changed without having to cross anything out. I can just erase it and write it. I swear, I am a computer person. I actually sort of do my ideas, my characters, my world building, and my outline kind of all at once, and they sort of feed off of each other, which makes this video series a little awkward because I put it in parts, like I'm doing one thing at a time, but really I'm doing all at once. All of it all at once, too. So they all sort of do what my hands are doing, sort of. I don't know what my hands are doing, but they're doing that. Because as I work on my outline, I think more about my characters, and to work on my characters, I think more about where they're from, and work on my settings and the world building and all that. I've definitely learned, and honestly I think I always knew in my heart that I was meant to be an outliner, or at least to a certain point be an outliner. You know, pantsing, just jumping right into it, has never worked for me. If I don't know what I'm supposed to write, I sort of just throw in random crap and then it makes no sense, or I get tired of it because I don't know what to do with it, and then I just stop. Because I like to write in chronological order. I don't like writing scenes out of order. Like, it just screws me up if I do. I know that sounds really dumb, but if I try to write things out of order, I end up out of order in the end. Though, like, in the writing stage, I found myself, you know, just sometimes at the end of a chapter putting in brackets, cool thing happens, insert it later, which I think you can get away with in a first draft. I mean, you can get away with a lot of shit in a first draft because it's a first draft. It's whatever the hell you want. It can be a bunch of bullet points if you want it to be. Still counts. So, without further ado, let us head over to my Scrivener project where I will create my rough outline and then my outline without showing you any spoilers. So here we are again in my Scrivener project. Let's add a rough outline. I like to do a rough outline before I do an outline. So there's our rough outline. For a rough outline, it's mostly just like a list of events. Whereas for my outline, I like to be more specific by like chapter or whatever. Up. And then so on and so forth. For a rough outline, it's just like point by point by point, but I also like to do a outliney outline. So let's make one of those too. A more professional looking outline. So for this story, I'm not sure if I want to do chapters. I think I want to organize it by like the date, like day 1, day 2, day 3 and such. Maybe week 1, Sunday, week 3, Monday kind of crap. So I think that's what I'm gonna do instead of chapters. Outlines are probably like one of the least fun parts, and also one of the most fun parts, because you're like coming up with what actually happens without actually writing the story necessarily. You're moving forward from the idea dump. It's fun to do, I find. But it's also like not super fun necessarily. Low-key kind of fun. But point is, it's the 13th of October, so I really need to get a move on my outline to try and finish it by the end of October. That way I know the ending and the beginning. Those are the most important parts, but I also need to know some of the middle. But anyway, that's how I like to outline it, by points and then into chapters. And I know with Scrivener, a lot of people like to do it on the cards, but I don't do it on the cards, and I'm actually going to delete this and add in my own later. I'll like pre-make the cards as a part of this thing, like this. Like that. And when I'm ready to write it, I'll move it up into the manuscript section. I don't like to put it in the manuscript section until I'm actually going to write it, because then it becomes too daunting, and I'll only have like a few cards ready to go. I like to do kind of everything all at once. Work on my characters and work on my outline and work on my settings all at once, but I split it into different videos because of course I did. That completes this NaNoWriMo plotting video on outlining, and completes my little 4-part crappy series about NaNoWriMo planning. I don't know if it was at all helpful, but I enjoyed doing it, so it happened. If you want to watch as I write this particular NaNoWriMo novel in November, I will be doing mostly daily vlogs all November. There will be a few days where I combine a day or two so I can post other stuff during November too, like my wrap up and crap, but it's mostly going to be all NaNoWriMo all the time. Be sure to subscribe so you can watch that downfall happen in real time. And thank you so much for watching. I hope I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.